Hi there, my name is Chris Binding. I'm Product Marketing Manager here at EMS Software. I am joined by Billy Hawkins, one of our solutions consultants. He works very closely with our customers each and every day. Today we're going to look at EMS Software's meeting and room scheduling capabilities with a focus on the everyday user. First, a bit of context about EMS Software. EMS is committed to providing the fastest and easiest way to book a meeting for everyday users. In addition, EMS provides the greatest depth and breadth of functionality for expert users. This enables you and your organization to increase productivity, attract and retain people, reduce costs, and differentiate your brand. Everyday users typically face a number of challenges with regards to meeting and room scheduling in their organization. These can include time wasted finding and booking a meeting, dealing with under and overutilized rooms and workspaces, and having double-booked rooms and resources. Today we will demonstrate 3 things that EMS does to help everyday users overcome these challenges. First, the online room and resource booking using EMS. Second, the use of touchscreen kiosks and room signs using EMS. And lastly, the automated request and approval process using EMS. Let's start with how EMS allows you to quickly find and book a room that addresses all of your meeting needs using the online room and resource booking software. Everyday users can filter rooms available by their location, such as a city or building. They can also filter by the resources available in that room, such as a whiteboard or a data projector. Lastly, they can also order services specific to that city or building, such as catering or additional AV equipment. And they can do this all via the same process in which they book and request that room. Let's take a look.
To book a meeting room or event space, an everyday user needs to provide the system a baseline information, including when the meeting is occurring and who they're going to invite to that meeting. In this case, I'll choose a date and time that works for me, and I'll invite some attendees. Attendee search will look at your Outlook or Exchange environment to find all the members in your organization that you can invite. As you can see here, once I invite a member of my team, their free busy information shows above in the shopping cart area. If I need to, I can give the system additional settings like what type of room I need, what floor I need it on, or any additional features or resources that I need within the room itself. In this case, I'll choose a whiteboard. The system will present me with a number of pieces of information regarding rooms that are available that meet my criteria. If I need to narrow this down further, perhaps by location or building itself, I can choose to change any of those features up above and find space that fits my need. In this case, I see a number of rooms available for me to reserve. If I'm unsure if this room will fit my needs, I can click into that room and see things like an image of the room, a floor plan location of that room, or even the features and availability of that room going forward. I'll go ahead and choose the collaboration room. As you can see, it adds it up to my cart above. Once I provided the system with that information, your organization may require some pieces of information in order to complete your meeting. In this case, a meeting name, the type of meeting, and any information you'd like to send to your attendees. In this case, I'm going to send them a reminder 15 minutes in advance to the meeting that the meeting will occur. This will appear on their Outlook calendar as a meeting invite. If I'd like, I can also make this meeting private, meaning that other members of my organization will only see that I'm busy at that time. They will not see the details of the meeting. If I have the option to schedule on behalf of others, that information will be provided here. In this case, I'm going to schedule on behalf of myself. If I have additional event details or questions that I need to ask the everyday user in order to provide information for the meeting, I can indicate that here. In this case, I need catering services. I'm going to go ahead and choose some beverages like coffee, and I'm going to choose a flip chart. As you note, there may be some special instructions required for those services, so I can provide that to the catering teams directly from the system. Because the system does have billing and pricing attached to it with regards to the services I've selected, I can require that the system ask for a department code, client matter number, or other billing information for later invoicing or chargebacks. In this case, I'll choose my department in order to expense this. When there is pricing or other requirements, terms and conditions associated to the system, you can require that your everyday user agree to those conditions before continuing. Once I've submitted my self-service request, I have the ability to manipulate that meeting in many different ways. I can edit my reservation or manage my attendees. I can cancel any services that I've requested, or I can just review what I've requested and whether or not that request has been confirmed.
What Billy has just shown you then is how quickly you can find and book a room that addresses all your meeting needs as an everyday user using EMS. You can reserve the room, you can invite your attendees, you can request services, and you can book the resources required, all within one simple process. This ultimately enables you as an everyday user to save time and be more productive so that you can get to tasks that really need your time for that day. Now we're going to take a look at how EMS utilizes touchscreen kiosks and room signs so that you can easily locate a room, desk, or a colleague and book a room for immediate meetings. Using the touchscreen kiosks, you can make a new reservation, you can locate a room for an existing meeting, or you can locate a colleague. Using the touchscreen room sign, you can make new reservations and extend or end an existing meeting, which allows you to make it available for other people to use. Let's take a look.
For the everyday user, your organization may have a requirement to have a centralized location in order to perform functions regarding any meeting or events-based reservations. In this case, EMS software provides a kiosk in order to perform those functions. For example, by clicking on My Reservations, I can search for myself and find information about my day today. In this case, I have a 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. meeting in the New York location, Collaboration Room 1. If I don't know where that is, I can click on View Map and it will show me with a green check mark on a floor plan what room that is or location. If I need to check into my space or make an additional reservation, those options are available to me as well. In this case, making a new reservation is simply a matter of telling the system when I will be available for that meeting and when I want to provide information to the system in order to do that. In this case, I'll make a meeting from 10:58 to 11:30. The system provides me availability of all rooms in my location that have availability for me to schedule a meeting within. If I'm not sure where those locations are, I can simply click a map and see all of those locations available to me. Since this room looks good for me, I click this room and reserve it. As you can see, it does show that through the walk-up kiosk, I have reserved the conference room 2 from 10:58 to 11:30 p.m., and I have been auto-confirmed. If I need to locate a person within the system, I can do that as well. Perhaps I need to find a coworker that I work next to. In this case, I'll look for Robert. I can see that Robert has a number of meetings within the system, and some of those he's canceled or confirmed. If I need to find information about where he might be at this point, or where his next meeting is, I can always view that map, find that information, and see where he'll be located for the day. This is extremely useful for hoteling or other ad hoc type reservations. If I need to, I can also change my language for our multilingual employees. EMS software has the capability of providing room signage tools to make it easy for your everyday user to walk up and see details about that room, as well as what's going on in the room for that day. Additionally, it does provide information and availability to reserve immediately from that space. In this case, we're looking at a room sign for Innovation Lab 2. Currently, the room is available, and I can reserve directly from the room sign itself. Clicking Reserve allows me to auto-populate things like the meeting name, the attendees, and the default meeting time period. If I need to, I can extend that meeting up to any amount of time I need within the same calendar day. By reserving this meeting, I now see that the lab has been reserved, and looking at it here, I see that the meeting is confirmed and ready for me to use. If your organization requires that you check into the meeting, meaning that the meeting will actually occur, the sign will light up yellow to indicate that a check-in is required. When I walk up to my meeting, I simply check into that meeting, and the icon and colors change to let me know that that room is now in use. As that everyday user, if I need to add additional time to my meeting, the system will allow me to do that and simply add to the end of that meeting time. If I find that I've completed my meeting and would like to free this space up for the next user, I simply end my meeting and the room becomes available for future use. If there are additional meeting location or times within this room, they will be indicated on the slider here that will show additional meeting information.
What Billy has just shown you there is how EMS can be used on the spot via a touchscreen kiosk or a room sign. You can use these tools to make a new reservation, change a reservation, find a meeting or a colleague. This ultimately saves more valuable time and helps you to be more productive in your day. Let's now take a look at the automated request and approval process using EMS. There are some rooms, such as a boardroom, that might require an approval within your organization. EMS makes it easy to automate this approval process. Everyday users can make their requests online, and approvers are notified of all requests via their dashboard within EMS. Once those requests are approved, users are notified via email and also via their profile in EMS. Automating this process ultimately reduces the administrative overhead needed to manage these types of requests. Everyday users don't need to call or speak to a live person, for instance, and approvers can streamline those requests using their time elsewhere. Let's take a look.
As an everyday user, your organization may require approvals before requesting space within your organization. In this case, just as before, the system will require a few pieces of information in order to find the optimal space for you. In this case, choosing a date and time will provide my free busy availability and the rooms available for me to request. Again, I can search for attendees and invite those attendees within the system, finding their free busy availability as well. I can search different facilities or areas that are relevant to my meeting location, as well as narrow down feature sets for the room that I'm looking for. In this case, 2 locations are available for me in the New York office for me to make a request for. I'm going to go ahead and choose the conference room in Park Avenue. Again, that requested room now appears in my shopping cart for me to continue my meeting request. The system, based on your organizational requirements, may require additional fields to be filled out. In this case, my calendaring details, a reminder to send to my attendees, and who I'm scheduling on behalf of, in this case, myself. If I do have catering or AV items that I require, I can select those. In this case, I'll choose a flip chart and ask that the setup teams set this up in the back. As before, your organization may require departmental billing or chargebacks to a client or matter number. In this case, I'm going to provide my client matter number here and agree to my terms and conditions. When I submit this request, what's actually happening within the system is that a number of options are occurring within my reservation. As you can see, it is in a requested status, and this request has now been notified to my approvers within the organization that I have made this request. At the point of request, once it gets approved or denied, I will be notified as an everyday user via email that that has occurred. As an approver within my organization, I have a number of tools in which to see the activities that are occurring within the area that I'm responsible for. This could be anything from a floor to an entire building to a set of buildings or type of meetings, maybe conferences or video conferences. In this case, I'm looking at my dashboard, which is an interactive option for me to see new requests that have come in that are relevant for me to make approvals or decisions on. In this case, Billy Hawkins has requested a meeting for 12/23 in a meeting room with service orders. I can take action from this dashboard simply by double-clicking the meeting to find additional information about that and whether or not I want to approve this request. In this case, I get to see all the additional information about the meeting and the request, including the location and any features or equipment, catering, etc. that he may have requested. In this case, I see that he's requesting a flip chart. I can go ahead and confirm that from here and send that request back to Billy to let him know that his meeting has been confirmed. But what if I'm looking at the building as a whole, or perhaps my floor that I'm relevant to? We use the book within EMS software to provide that level of information to you. As you can see here within the book, I see all of my New York rooms that are available for me to take action on, as well as the different meetings that are occurring throughout the day and the statuses of those. We color code all of those meetings for easy visibility. In this case, green means any meetings that were confirmed, orange means any that are put on hold, and blue means any meetings that need to be attended to or maybe need to be approved. In this case, that meeting that Billy has requested shows up in blue here as a request. By double-clicking that meeting, I have the ability to go into that meeting and make an approval or view additional information about it. However, you may have noted that hovering over also gives me some additional information as well. Assuming that I am going to approve this meeting for Billy, I simply have to right-click on the meeting and adjust his status from requested to confirmed. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that meeting. The system will let me know that the changes have been made successfully, and when the system refreshes, as you can see, the item has changed from blue to green to indicate that the reservation has been approved. If I'd like to, I can optionally automatically send a confirmation to the user, or I can manually do that. By selecting this particular item, I can send a confirmation to Billy to let him know that his meeting has been confirmed. I'll print preview that for you to see now on screen. As you can see here, the system will provide a number of details to Billy to let him know that his meeting has been confirmed. It will reiterate the confirmation, his physical location, the meeting information that he provided, as well as any headers and footers that your organization requires for the confirmation message. If there are any pricing or chargeback informations, that information will be provided here as line item totals. This is optional. Once those requests have completed and the reservation has been approved, the system will refresh every 2 minutes. Once that item has been completed, it will remove from your dashboard automatically so that you don't see a list of items that you no longer need to deal with.
So what Billy has just shown you there is how quick and simple the process to request the use of a room that requires approval really is using EMS. With a single process, you can request resources and services along with the room. This saves the everyday user's time, which typically can be spent chasing around approval and maybe requesting resources and services from different departments. To sum up, EMS provides the fastest and easiest way to book a meeting for everyday users. This enables you and your organization to quickly and easily filter by location, resources, and services to find the room that you need. You can also find a room, desk, or colleague using visual floor plans. And you can automate the request process for rooms that require approval. Most importantly, this results in increased productivity for you and your organization, saving you valuable time. Thank you for your time today, folks. Have a good day.